Yep, give me your time to get into the room. We're here. The Real Discussion with Rock Logic, Gary D, Rocky D, and Robin are here. Just had to hit the button, y'all.
I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my
Yeah, notification should be going out.
The street life used to be on. Straight up hustling.
Yeah, we starting about 10 minutes. We're starting at 7 o'clock.
How to do wrong, right?
Give me your time to get into the room. We are definitely here.
But somehow
Oh boy, and we got a show today. Flat Earth, okay.
what I saw, the empire was starting to fall. And everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. I miss you, man. You're my brother. I said I love you, babe. I won't forget you, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Sometimes I feel life is cheap. Everything's disposable and so are we. Can you hear me? Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. Cause I wanna go home. I feel for my
I'm just setting up the Zoom, y'all, for this call. But we are here, we're in the room, y'all.
brother.
Give me about 9 minutes and we get it going.
I feel for my brother. Oh, no, no. Feel for my brother. I wanna go home. Feel for my brother. I won't forget you, no. I feel for my brother.
Yo,
I feel for
Big shout out to my man David Weiss. David Weiss, you in the building?
I am. We going audio only.
Nah. What's gonna happen is you're gonna be video because of the software I use, OBS, right? So we can see you on all of our feeds that we feed out to. You just can't see us. That's all. It got all weird and loopy. So we're about. I got the countdown clock going,
Right.
and we go on at
That
7.
screen sharing available. Can you turn on screen sharing?
Yes, indeed. Whatever you need.
All right.
you know.
So I'm gonna
How long
make
we going
you.
for?
Huh?
How long are we going for?
It's up to you. I mean, it's a 2-hour show, so.
All right. Let's
I'm
we can do for like
gonna
90
make you a
minutes,
host.
but if we're cruising, we'll keep going.
Cool. I'm gonna make you a host.
God bless you,
Right.
cause you're doing fine.
So now you can put up whatever you need.
Today, don't forget about me.
All right.
As days turn to weeks, and weeks
Woo!
turn to years, oh,
All right, y'all.
I feel for my brother.
All right.
And
We're 6 minutes out. And by the way, Dave, just so that you know, there's 4 of us in the room. Just so you understand, right?
How many of you think the Earth is flat?
None of us in the room think the Earth is flat. Just to be clear. So, we're here to let you do your thing, and you
No,
can.
no. I want you guys to ask me questions.
Oh no! Oh boy, are we? Yeah, we've been studying this thing all week. So. So just to give you an idea of what's going on, I'm gonna try to. If I do the virtual camera, you kind of get a shot of like what we are, but it's just it's a repeater. Hold on. Okay, so what you're seeing right now, switch.
Is that you standing there?
Yeah, that's me standing there, and then you should see us. That I switched the camera. All right. So I'm gonna go back to the. Well, you know what? I can't even go back to the countdown clock. So you know what, gang? We're gonna start the show early. Okay. We're gonna get it going. Hold on, let me just. Yeah, that should have happened.
If I'm paused for a second, it's I'm losing my voice a little bit because I'm coughing. So
okay,
deal with me.
All right, great. So you know what?
I'll be all right though.
This is the real discussion with Rock Logic, Gary D, ESP, Robin, Rocky D. We in the building. And you know what? I'm gonna hit the button. So we start an intro for the show, y'all. Oh my God, I have an incredible guest today. This is gonna be so awesome, because we're gonna discuss something that we've never discussed before. We're gonna talk about, is the Earth flat? We are going against science, what we've been taught, and what maybe we've been brainwashed to think. I don't know what you believe, but I got my man Dave Weiss here, and he's gonna convince us, you know, so I'm happy about that. Let me just make sure I record the show for radio. Oops. All right, there you go. All right. Let me stop the virtual webcam. Okay. All right, so everything's smooth. System's running, people. And I'm here for sure. Ooh, Robin's head is cut off. There we go. We got this to be a little high. Oh, Robin's head is cut off. Oh, yeah. Now she's like Robin the Giant. How'd that work out? All right, y'all. So I'm hit the button. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, and we are here, y'all. Let me crack the mics, everybody in the room.
Hello.
Yo,
All right,
what's up?
Robin, are you in the house, Robin?
I am in the house.
Good. Rocky D, mic check.
Yes. 1, 2, 1,
Yes,
2.
Gary Fax, mic check.
Yo.
Awesome. And Dave Weiss, quick mic check.
Check.
There you go. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, come on. You hear me? Yeah, I hear you fine. We hear you. Can you hear us? Okay. Yeah, you can hear us.
All right.
All right. So I'm just going to get into what's going on. So this week on The Real Discussion with Rock Logic, things that I've been doing. I don't even remember what I did this week. Did I do anything?
Yeah, watched a lot of TV.
I watched a lot of TV
Hell
this
yeah.
week. Yeah, I did.
Try to
I
figure
did.
this out.
Yeah, we were trying to study like this flat Earth theory. You know what I'm saying? So I watched a lot of YouTube videos and some stuff that was on ABC. Just kind of get a sense of, you know, what people are thinking. Other than that, it was a good work week. You know what I'm saying? I did, you know, the hospitals with the CPR thing and the advanced life support and all that foolishness. And we did that. And I got some real cool stuff in the mail. I got like a towel, right, with my pictures all
it's
over
hot.
it. Yeah, it's
hot.
pretty crazy.
It's hot. I love it.
And then there's a picture that I have that was created, and it's really beautiful. It's on a canvas. So, you know, big shout out to Lori on that one.
Lori. Hey, Lori.
Yeah, that was dope. Robin, what's going on with you?
I experienced some karma this week.
What happened?
So, you know, I have a friend who, you know, she bought a car. She drove, but she didn't have a license. So she took me on a couple, you know, rides with her, you know, and I'm used to being a passenger to a very experienced driver. And her car is a very powerful machine, you know, not for first-time drivers.
BMW.
Right. So I'm like, you know, I felt I was judgy. Let's put it that way. And it came back to bite me in a big way. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, okay.
So my grandson's birthday was last weekend. And I'm in the bed. I've been drinking all night, get up in the morning, take a little sip, in the morning if I still got something left over. So I take a nap and my daughter comes home and she's like, I can't get the car. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I don't have a credit card. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I do. Let's use mine.
Right.
So now I'll go big. When I do it, I go big.
Yes, you do. You go big and hard.
So I went to Enterprise Rent a Car. I got a luxury SUV. So I got an Audi,
Yeah.
doing it, right? So, the whole intention was for her to take my grandson out, and I was going to pay for it.
Okay.
But when we got there, they showed me the car. We did all the, and I got funky with them too. Because it had a lot of water spots on it.
Okay.
So I'm like, what is this?
What am I paying for?
Right. Okay. But the good thing was they asked me if I wanted to, cover it full insurance. So they were going to charge me like triple the money, I guess, as a deposit.
Right.
So I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I get in the passenger side and I open the door for my daughter. And they're like, no, you have to drive. Now, I have not driven.
That's right, because it's your credit card and driver's license.
Right.
That's right. So
I personally have not driven a car in 10 years.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So, it's a brand new car. And it's not like you turn the key in the ignition anymore. You press a button.
Yeah.
So
It took you 20 minutes to figure it out.
no, it took me about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I press the button, the car starts to warm up. So I'm like, cool. So as I'm coming out, I turn the car, everything is cool.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go to Enterprise at the airport, they have these lanes with the cones.
Yeah.
So, I'm turning to come out and my daughter's like, you're going out of the wrong exit.
It's going bad quick, y'all.
No, that was.
What's up, Hillary? What up, Chapman?
I would have rather that.
Christina Richards, hey, I see y'all in the building. Yeah,
I would have rather that. But when I was about to turn, then I realized I needed to be in the next lane. It was much narrower. So I go to turn and all I hear is bum, 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 bum.
You done tore this car.
Tow the car up.
Wow.
Tow it. I didn't even make it out of the rental place.
No. Can you call? You can't get insurance now. They're like, we saw you fucking up.
No, I'm covered fully. All I paid for was 1 day's rate.
He messed up.
I thought I was going to jail. I thought I was going to jail. Especially if they didn't give me a breathalyzer too.
Yo.
I thought I was going to jail.
You can't say nothing about Shell no more.
That's what I said. This
There
is
you
about
go.
karma.
There you
Karma on me.
Good
Shame
job.
on me.
All right, the room started to fill up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We done the intro. It's very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Is that karma with a K or karma with a C?
well,
Car.
look, I'm not going into phonetics, but I believe this with a capital K. Capital K.
The karma strikes back. So listen, man, I'm introducing my man, Dave Weiss. He's here. We're talking about, all right, this week, guys, all right, for those of y'all just, tuned in, we're talking about flat Earth. And there's a big movement on the internet that says that the Earth is flat. And last week, Dave Weiss hits me up on the email. He's like, yo, I want to talk, I want to come on the show, talk about the flat Earth thing, da-da-da. And I'm like, flat Earth? What are you talking about, flat Earth? Now, I'd heard a little bit about it or whatever, but I didn't know there was such a big movement on the flat Earth.
International movement as well.
Yeah. I had no idea. And I did
Worldwide.
worldwide, So, you know what? Without further ado, you know what I'm saying? Let me hit the Zoom. And there's my man, Dave Weiss. Dave Weiss is in the house, y'all.
Hey.
What's up, Dave? Welcome. All right, Dave.
Big shout out to Elena T. I see you, Elena. Robin, you're too much here. Robin's a car crash. So, Dave, man, listen, I got to tell you, For the fact of the matter that so many people, believe that the world is round and it is a globe, you got a lot of convincing to do, bro.
A whole lot.
Can I start out by asking you guys, why do you think the Earth is a globe, other than somebody told you? You have
Ooh,
any
Okay,
proof?
I love this.
whatsoever?
Yes. Okay.
Me first.
He's like, me please, me please. All right, you know what? Go ahead.
I saw an astronaut.
By the way, this is Rocky D. By the way,
Yes, sir.
that's Rocky.
Say hi.
I saw an
Sammy.
astronaut. An astronaut actually take a picture for the sky, and it was round. I mean, really. I mean, pictures. That's my pictures.
Pictures.
All right, we'll start with that.
So
Go
you
ahead.
think pictures of the Earth?
I seen your
Are-
pictures.
Pictures.
Your pictures are from down the block to across the street, and not too convinced.
I mean, pictures are very easy to make, and if you look at the pictures NASA supplies us, they don't match. You know, you can make I made a I'm showing in the background here, but for those of you not looking, I made an Earth in Photoshop, and it looks better than NASA's Earth.
Okay.
Right? So when you look at pictures of Earth from space, they don't match. So there's only two pictures NASA has, and one of them's called the Blue Marble, and we all saw that on our iPhones.
Okay.
And the other one was taken, I don't know, like 25 years later. And when you look at them and compare them, they just don't match whatsoever. If you look at the two pictures, one of them, the United States, is half the size of the other one, right?
Okay.
It makes no sense. Where are all the other continents, right? And so if you look at the 2012 picture, I'm showing a measurement here. It shows United States and Baja and Mexico. And if you measure that, and we know how long that is because we can drive it and take a little boat and,
100%.
and see that it's 934 miles. The diameter of the Earth, which they tell us is 7,917 miles, we would need 8.5 of those to fit in between those two lines.
Okay.
So either the Earth is tiny or NASA's lying and we never went to the moon.
All right. So okay. So we're gonna need a little dispute here. Now, as a traveler, and I've traveled the world, right? And on 2 occasions, I feel like I saw that the Earth was round. One, I've flown from New York to Hong Kong about 17 or 18 times. And there comes a point, because they don't fly around the Earth when they fly. They fly in an arc. They go up to Alaska, and then they come down because the circumference of the Earth is so wide that it would take more time and burn more fuel, right? So once you get up about that high, you can actually see the curvature of the Earth
So
at that altitude. Okay, go.
that's actually false. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the high priest of science,
No. I saw it, but go
at
ahead.
127,000 feet, you can't see the curve. We send balloons up, and without a fisheye lens, and they show a perfectly flat horizon. What you're seeing from the airplane is two things. One, you're expecting to see a curve, but you're looking through curved glass,
Okay.
and you see in the same direction, the same distance in all directions. So that's you're seeing in a flat circle, and your brain is just telling you that it's a sphere. When in fact, the way the flat Earth works is north is at the center, the North Pole. Like the Earth is a big pond, okay?
Okay.
And the shoreline is the outer edge of that pond. It's the land that's higher than the water surface. That land we call Antarctica. At the center of the Earth is the magnetic pole. So if you have a compass, it always has to point towards that magnetic pole. So you can go east or west around the lake. And you think you circumnavigated, but you didn't. Or you can go from the United States over Alaska all the way over to the Far East. Straight line. It's not going over a ball, because when you're in an airplane, it climbs to altitude, it levels off, and it goes straight and level. It's not climbing over a ball or anything like that. Excuse me.
Yeah, Dave.
So the Earth doesn't spin, because if it did, that causes a whole nother problem.
Like what?
And then, so what's spinning? Like, is the sun spinning? I'm sort of curious.
No, the Earth is stationary. So here's the problem. People that believe in the spinning ball have two things in common. One is they don't know what the flat Earth model is. They have a misconception of it, and then on top of that, they don't even understand what their model is. So the flat Earth is just like a big pond, and the shoreline that surrounds us is Antarctica.
Okay.
Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It holds in the water. So you have to excuse me. I'm having a little.
It's
sore
okay.
throat.
Take your time, Dave. I'm here
dying.
for you. No,
You're not dying.
Yeah, and don't die on the
And
show.
don't die on the show.
Ratings will go through the roof, but listen, I don't want to do that. They're like, Dave
won't
Weiss
die.
dies on the real discussion.
So,
like,
so Antarctica is the highest land on Earth,
Okay.
and it holds the water in. So if you sail to the edge of a lake, you don't fall off the edge of a pancake floating in space. You get to the edge of the lake, and that's where the land is. Antarctica could very well be bigger than the entire ocean, and then all of the oceans and all the continents combined. It's the land that holds in the waters of the flat Earth pond.
okay.
Right? So circumnavigation, you can sail around the pond clockwise or counterclockwise, east and west are circles. You can also go across the north from America to the Far East, right? But I think one thing you can't do on a flat Earth is go south from Santiago and go south and pop up over in Australia like you should be able to on a ball, but nobody's ever done it. Santiago is at the bottom of a ball. You should be able to just take that short little trip over to Australia, or even just go around Antarctica and go
So
there.
are we saying that
That's
this flight?
not-
Are we saying this flight doesn't exist?
No, well, that flight does not exist. When a flight wants to go from Santiago, it goes all the way up here. It goes all the way over to the East Coast. Then it goes all the way down. And if it wants to go to the East Coast of Australia, it's worse.
Uh-huh.
It goes all the way up. It goes all the way over to Europe, and then over to Dubai, and then down. And if you look at that on a flat Earth map, this is it on a flat Earth map. And if we want to go to Eastern Australia, watch this. We go straight line across over to Europe, Dubai, and East Australia. That's a straight line. Now, if you're on an airplane, you're taking a nap, all's well, you're comfortable, cozy, and then the pilot starts his initial descent into the airport, 45 minutes before you're gonna land. He
100%.
literally just starts going down. You wake up, you're like, whoa, we're changing our flat, straight, and level path.
Well, changing the altitude, yes.
Yeah, so that, and think about this. The Earth is spinning, the globe Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. That's faster than the speed of sound at the equator.
Well, however, if you base it on mass, right, it spins once every 24 hours, right?
Right.
So based on mass, yes, the speed you're talking about, but you have to add mass to it. So your number is $1,000, 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, based on mass, that's basically nothing. If we were on let's say we was on a Ferris wheel, right? Or the thing with the horses, what do you call that? Merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round.
All right, now you spin that merry-go-round based on mass at 1,000 miles an hour, then people are going to fly off of the Ferris wheel. But the end part of that science is, yes, it might do 1,000 miles an hour, but you have to times that by mass, right? And once you times
Well,
it by
you're saying
mass,
it only goes around once per day.
Correct.
And you wouldn't notice that. You're dropping at over 5 miles a minute, and if that merry-go-round was a mile wide and it's still going around once a day, you wouldn't, it would go around pretty quick. But it was 100 miles wide.
but the
You'd
bigger
go
it got-
faster.
no, the bigger the merry-go-round would get,
It's slow.
the actually slower it would
Well,
rotate based on
No,
mass. Mass
Its
is important.
Tangential speed is faster. The angle, the angular speed is the same, but its tangential speed is faster. But that's not where I'm even going with this. That's
Okay.
an argument we could talk about all day.
Yeah.
But on the equator, if you drew a line around the equator, it's about 24,000 miles. So it's going around 1,000 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
But if you were at a airport like right at the North Pole, you're not going 1,000 miles an hour. You're barely turning. If you were a mile from the North Pole, you're going like a third of a mile an hour, less than a mile an hour, because you go around once a day and you're only traveling 3.14 miles. So if you're on an airplane sitting a mile from the North Pole, sitting on the runway, That airplane takes off and flies to Ecuador, and it wants to land on a runway that's north-south. That runway is moving sideways at 1,000 miles an hour. How does the plane catch up to it?
Because of mass.
No, that's you're just using words.
No, no, I'm using science. It's simple. It is simple.
What science? What science? That you can't just say mass.
No.
You have to explain
When I'm
things.
saying mass, I'm saying the size of the Earth, right? Based on where you're at, you're not gonna feel the 1,000 miles an hour. It's like when you do fly in a plane, right? If you fly in a big plane, mass, a 747, you don't feel a lot of turbulence. It's not too crazy. You fly in a Learjet or you fly in a prop plane, and it's just two of you there. You're feeling everything that's going on, basically.
That's That's not apples to apples.
That's
You know what?
based on.
Okay, let's agree to
Okay.
disagree. Let's move on.
I'm with you, but I have another question.
Whoa.
Because I've flown. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong.
All right.
But I've flown from New York to Hong Kong and then did not fly from Hong Kong directly back to New York. I continued on the path that went over Asia, that went over Europe, that went over Dubai, and then landed. So we made a complete circle.
Yeah. So watch this.
How did that work?
I'm pointing to the North Pole right here.
Yes.
Okay, North Pole's in the center, and here's New York, and we're gonna go east. East is a circle. We fly around, and we go all the way over to Asia. We keep going. I'm dead reckoning east. East is a circle, and I come right back to New York.
So
It's a
well,
circle.
okay. So in the face of science, right? It would cost me more money to do that if I had to fly. Why wouldn't I just go straight line back instead
Well,
of
it depends on
doing a
the
circle?
flight route. I mean, it's not from New York, which is over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much of a difference taking this route or this route. Okay, it's not that much of a difference.
Okay.
Most
But-
flights.
Oh, he's
flights,
getting hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So traveling in the north is not that different on a ball or a flat Earth. It's traveling from a southern location, from like Santiago,
Okay.
all the way to Australia.
Funny he
which
used
is
the
on
ball
other
for
side
that.
of the pond.
Uh-huh.
That's why it goes all the way up to the northern hemisphere and all the way over.
Okay.
The northern hemisphere is in the middle. The southern is on the outside.
So I have a question. Because everything to me, right, in life, there's gain, right? There's something to gain. When we say something, there's something
Why
to
the
gain.
lie? Why the lie?
Right? There's always something to gain. So my question
Why the
is, why would they lie about about it being a globe? What's the gain? Is there a money gain? Like, what's the gain?
Yeah, it's all about control. But let's go over just a few more things, and then we'll dig into why the lie. If that's
Sure,
cool.
I love it. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dave.
So if you watch any NASA or SpaceX rockets, they go up, they curve out, they go over the Bermuda Triangle, and you're watching a cartoon in within minute or less of the launch. But in Arizona, these guys launched this, hobby rocket, these, amateurs, and it went straight up 73 miles when all of a sudden it hit something. It went into something like a denser medium, and it made like a kerplunk noise, right? And while it's at 73 miles, and then it was floating there for a minute, and when it turned on its side, it could look across, and over here you're going to see the moon is going to show up. No big deal. It's up pretty high. You should be able to see the moon.
It's a moon.
And here comes the moon right there. Okay?
Is the moon flat too?
No, hold on.
It was a good question, but go ahead. Let him finish. Go ahead.
It sees the moon. The problem with that is the moon was over Australia when this rocket took off, right? That would mean they're looking through the Earth, but they're not. They can see the moon because the Earth is flat.
Okay.
Can I
So-
ask a question?
Is the moon flat? Is this flat or a sphere?
I think the moon is a sphere.
All right. Is it?
I
What,
think
what
it's a
about this one? Is this flat or a sphere?
Well, that looks.
The moon is a sphere.
Well, I mean,
period.
that you have
Sphere?
right there. Look, yeah,
Flat or a
look,
sphere? Yes or
that
no?
looks
No,
flat. What you were doing.
the moon is a sphere. Period.
That's flat. That's a
Is
disc.
this one a sphere?
Well, I can't tell unless I see the
Looks-
backside.
no, it's just basically
Pull it all in. Man.
no.
Okay. So no, it's like a half a
So
sphere.
what I'm saying is, To me, the moon looks like a sphere. I'm with you. Okay. But it doesn't even act like a physical object. When you try to triangulate it, its position, the more people that try to triangulate it, the farther the position is.
I got a question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Robert.
All right. No. I mean, just to absorb all the things that you're saying versus what we know or perceive to know. Can you prove that the earth is flat? Can you prove it?
Like, have you seen it or like done any? I mean, basically, what I'm asking is, and I guess what Robert said, have you guys seen it? Like, they had a flat earther guy, right? He spent so much money. He built a rocket to fly into the air. Is that all right? And if he's not your guy, just correct me. But he built a rocket.
Mad Mike was a stuntman
Okay.
who put a flat earth poster on his, because he wanted to raise money, so some flat earthers paid him to put a billboard on his rocket. He was jumping 1,800 feet in the air, just trying to go for a record for a steam powered rocket.
Okay.
Right? And it said flat earth on it. Well, the media ran with it. Crazy man tries to prove the earth is flat with a steam rocket. That's not true at all. That's
All right.
I thought it was.
Okay. So listen. I'm here to learn. So okay. So let's talk about the moon.
Well, all right, go ahead.
But we can back up because you answered the question that Rob was
So
talking
you
about.
were asking for some proof. So
Yes,
Yeah.
we want proof.
Okay.
if
Can
the
I-
Earth is a ball, there should be some curvature, and there's some globe math for that, and it's the calculation, which is very easy, is 8 inches per mile squared, because the farther out you go, the faster the Earth slopes down. So at 3 miles, 3 times 3 is 9, times 8, it's 6 feet. Okay, so at 3 miles, a 6-foot tall person should see a horizon, and then the water should drop below them. If you
Yeah.
went down lower, a foot off the water, the horizon should be 1.2 miles away.
Okay.
Well, this camera here is a foot off the water, and there should be 59 feet of curvature at this oil rig, right? But not only can we see the rig, we can see the water for tens of miles beyond it, right? Where there should be 100 or more feet of curvature, a physical horizon, but we can see it. We can see too far. So the next question you have is, well, how come I can't see Mount Everest, right? How come I can't see Europe? So here's a shot from Aluja, France, and we're looking out, and Mount Canigou is out here, but it's 175 miles away, and you can't see it because the top of that mountain, according to Globe Mass, should be over a mile below the curvature.
Okay.
However, 2 days a year, when the sun lines up with it on its path between the tropics, the sun goes away and it backlights those mountains. And then all of a sudden, you could start seeing something, this little ridge line. And not only can we see the tops of this mountain, we can see the entire mountain. When the top of this mountain here and here should be a mile below a physical curvature, we can see it clear as day as the sun goes beyond it and backlights it.
I still need to know if the moon is a globe. Like, is it round? I just need to know that. I mean, because if the Earth is flat, then my assumption would be then the data is incorrect for all the planets. All the planets.
And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question.
Well, one thing at a time. She mentioned planets, so let's talk about planets. The only images we have of planets are from NASA and Disney. And
So they
honestly,
can't be trusted. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. This is the
Okay.
latest picture of
Okay.
Pluto.
No. That's all I need to hear because as no. I'm just
That
saying.
looks like it's amazing. There's a desert on Pluto that kind of looks like Pluto the dog, but maybe that's just my imagination, right? Here, we'll look at this one. 2014. This is the famous picture of Jupiter that everyone's seen in every textbook.
Right. With the
And then in
hole in the middle.
2016, NASA announces they got pictures of the Northern Lights, proving that there's a pole, a magnetic pole on Jupiter. Right? Look at that. Look how crazy that looks. But let's just assume that's not photoshopped. It
Okay.
obviously is. But if you overlay these two pictures on top of each other, now remember, Jupiter is a gaseous planet, and they've shown us some grainy footage that each of these bands is spinning in the opposite direction of each other, and these are all storms. Every single cloud is exactly the same that 2 years later. So you have to believe that on a cloudy, stormy planet, that has rotating rings, that somehow all of the clouds lined up again for the second photo, or NASA's lying and we never went to the moon.
Okay, because what you just said makes me not skeptical, but it wants me to deep dive into why you don't think NASA's telling the truth. Is this?
Well, let's dive into that.
Yes, and like, where's the benefit? I'm here with you.
Let's go.
No, because this is about suspending your belief in a
Absolutely, yeah.
government entity,
Yes,
right?
yes.
This is what this is about. This is the pinpoint. This is the
I'll give you a hint. NASA and every other space agency was created for one reason, and it's to make you believe that you can live on a ball. Why? We're going to get into that, but let's have a little fun first with NASA.
Let's do it.
Right? So, you ever see footage from the space station where they're always flipping things around?
Yeah,
and
and doing
everything,
that thing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. Well, there's two different ways they do it. One is on a zero-G plane. The other is just in a green screen studio. Well, these guys are talking, flipping their mic around, flipping their hat around. But in the background, this guy goes floating by. But something went wrong with the green screen, and it didn't get rid of his harness. This guy is obviously hanging from a harness, just moving through the scene. And if you can't see that, you're a NASA apologist. But okay, so it gets worse than that. When they're flipping, he's got a hat and he's flipping it around. That's really not there. The hat isn't there. We'll see it in a second. It'll come up. It's called augmented reality, and they're looking either in virtual contact lenses or they're looking at a screen that's behind the camera, and they can see things and they can manipulate them in there. So watch his hat here. He's gonna pass it to this guy, but the guy misses it, and he goes and puts it away. He thought the hat was there, and he tries to put it away. So it's going back and forth here. And you could watch his eyes. He's like trying to look at the monitor, going, "Oh, I just screwed up." Right? So that's one thing. Watch this woman here. Over here, there's nothing here, right? She's talking to kids. All of a sudden, there's Paxi, their little stuffed animal.
Okay.
And now she's manipulating it. They literally beamed it in to show you. They're telling us, and it's done with augmented reality. She's seeing this, and she can maneuver these things around in
Right.
real time where they render them and make them look real.
I gotta interrupt for a second. I'm sorry, because this reminds me of the 9/11, situation.
Conspiracy.
Right. Where, video was used to augment, certain things to make people believe one thing or another. And for me, I mean, I can't say whether or not the earth is round or flat. I can't. I've not been into space. I'm not part of the spacewalk, the International Space Station. I'm not in cahoots with China or Russia or Japan or, India to share space share space, in the atmosphere, right? I can't. It's beyond my purview. What I want to know, what I want to know is, can flat Earth also, because you really never answer my question on how you can prove it. Can flat? Well, no, because you yourself have not. Wait.
Yeah.
You, I've never been in a space station, and you can't prove to me that the Earth is flat.
Well,
So we're talking about conjecture here, right? Because it's not really about what you can actually prove. It's based on a philosophy or a stream of thought that may be counter to what other people see, because you have a belief system that is not in conjunction with provable facts.
No, I hear you, and it's not about belief; it's about knowing. You believe that we live on a ball. I believe we lived on a ball.
Well, I'm saying
Then when
that.
it- oh,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Let me
Go
talk. Let me
ahead.
talk.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we all believed it, but then when you start looking, you say, okay, if we live on a ball, there should be measurable curvature. But we've done laser tests, microwave tests,
Microwave.
mirror flashes, and we can see too far. We can see things that should be a mile below the curve. So we've interviewed Navy gunnery guys that say from their boat they can light up another boat with a pencil thin radar beam, a laser beam at 100 miles away. Well, 100 miles away, that boat should be over a mile below a hump of water, but somehow he can see it and light it up with a pinpoint laser. Lasers go straight; they don't go over a hump. and they're able to shoot railguns over 100 miles and hit targets that should be 6,600 feet or more below a hump. Submarines can see other submarines with radar. When they're down low near the ocean floor, they can see another submarine 100 miles away. There should be a hump of land, a mountain, a mile high in between them, and there's no way the sonar goes straight. It bounces off that mountain and comes back.
Okay.
And so we can see too far, period. So there's no curvature. Now, does that mean the Earth is flat? Maybe, maybe not. It means it's not a ball, though.
But I have a question.
But so I have to ask this. Hold on. So my question is, right? Because I get where Robin is going with it. What proof do you have that you've seen? In other words, have you gone to, and I'm not even being outrageous because once again, you're talking, I'm a world traveler. I've traveled, I've been to Australia. I've been to the places we're talking about.
Me too.
What is, okay, now that's what I want from you. What is the furthest place you've traveled to?
I guess Australia. I windsurfed across the Atlantic Ocean from Newfoundland to Weymouth, England.
Okay.
I've been to Australia for the Olympics, and I've been to New Zealand. So that's pretty far. And on a flat Earth, you can't really go much farther than that.
Can I ask a question? One question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one question. Okay, so let's say, for instance, we have a tsunami.
Okay.
Now we have a tsunami. The tsunami hits. Where the hell does the water go?
Like, would it just go across flat Earth? Or is
Yeah,
it
it
an energy
does. It goes-
Does it fall off into space or does it goes around? What happens?
Well, there is no edge. There is no space. As I said,
Oh, so it's all dark matter.
Yeah. Okay.
no dark matter.
Nope.
So it's the Earth is a pond. If you made a wave in a pond, you dropped a boulder in a pond, your tsunami goes in all directions.
Okay.
Now, there has been some tsunamis years ago that hit different parts of the land way ahead of schedule. They're like, wait a minute, Hawaii is going to get the tsunami, in 6 hours, but it showed up in 2 hours. And and they couldn't figure out how it was. It's because the whole layout of the world is incorrect.
Okay. So, interesting.
No, I think it's
number one,
fascinating.
I think it's okay. Hold on, wait. All right.
Oh, you got questions from? Okay.
In the room, you ain't convincing them. I'm just letting you know. On YouTube right now, Farmer Palmer's like dumbest conspiracy theory in history. Jeff Berth.
Hold on for any of you out there. I'm going to show you my app, which will show you how to find all this information.
Okay.
And I have an offer. The offer is take the Flat Earth app challenge, which is you watch the daily video every day for 2 weeks. And then if you can come up with one proof of the globe, I will refund your $2.99.
Wow.
And give you a free Bitcoin.
Oh, you got Bitcoin too?
Yeah, I'll give you a full Bitcoin.
Now we just fell in love with Dave.
No, because I'm the $2.99. I don't care about that.
You
The
don't, the
Bitcoin's
Bitcoin.
$36,000 for one.
Okay.
So
we can finance the show.
but you better show me the coin. See a flat round disc of a coin that says B in the middle.
So I just want to ask a question. I'm gonna go again, Dave. Right?
Ask me a question, then I want to give you guys a little test.
All right. You know what? I think. Hold on. Wait. Let me just see what's
It's a
happening.
challenge.
Oh wait. Tabathina Richard says, "Wait, is he saying the Earth is a pond?" Yes, he's saying the Earth is flat like a
I
pond.
want to know what's underneath it, though.
Wait,
What's
no,
underneath it?
Hold on. Just give me
Where do
something.
volcanoes come from?
Hold on, Dave, because I always address the room. Okay, Lori story and level. Robin, wow, that's from the car crash. All right, flat Earth is fake. Don't really. All right, cool. So in the chat room right now, we're not convinced, but you can give the test, and I'm ready. I want it. Let's go.
He wants it. He's hot.
So is just short of 8 miles, just over 7.5 miles. Where they couldn't dig any deeper, they hit it just became too hard.
Have you been to New York?
It's like digging through half the skin of an apple. Okay. And when they were digging it, they were using ground penetrating radar, figuring out what they were going to hit next, and they were wrong every step of the way.
So where do
the ground
volcanoes
penetrating
come
radar-
from?
So hang on.
Let him
Take your
ride.
time.
All right.
So all of a sudden,
I'm eager. I'm sorry.
they tried to, get through the skin of the apple. They couldn't, and then they were wrong trying to figure out what was in the skin as they were digging. And then all of a sudden they can tell you what's through the center of the earth. This is pseudoscience, right? There's no one knows what's below the earth. So what are volcanoes? There's lava tubes. There's not volcanoes. So there's no cone-shaped mountains spewing lava out of the top coming from the center of the earth. Lava tubes are all over the place. Don't ask me how they work because I don't know.
Okay. I just wanted.
Right.
I want to deal with the Earth being flat and the moon. So just because we weren't clear on this, is the moon a disc or is it a globe?
I don't know. The moon doesn't act like a physical object. If you think about it, when there's a total solar eclipse,
Right.
nobody sees the moon approaching the sun. Nobody sees the moon when it's totally blocking the sun. We just see a black spot, and nobody sees it leave the sun.
Uh huh.
But during a total eclipse, the Earth is full, like a full moon. It should be lighting the moon with moonshine up, just like on a full moon night. You can navigate, you can drive down the road on just using moonlight. You can
Right.
read by it. It's so bright. Well, the Earth is 6 times bigger. And during a total eclipse, during totality, with some type of camera or your naked eyes, you should be able to see the craters on the moon. You can't. It's not there.
All right. So here's my
I got
question.
so many questions.
Yeah, I know a lot. So if
So
if
did
the
I, by the way. How
Huh?
would you guys? Trust
Huh?
me.
what'd you say?
No,
Listen.
when I was learning about this,
Yes.
I had so many questions also.
Yeah, no, we got a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So the one thing I want to say, so the Earth is flat, right? So if I take a moon, right, and we take the moon and we go around the flat Earth, then that means at one point or another, someone should see the other side of the flat moon. Do we concur with that or no?
No.
Okay.
I don't think the moon is a physical object. I think the sun and the moon that we see are literally reflections into the Earth system.
Oh, that's
And the way I say that is, if we were, let's say that the three of us are standing outside 20 feet apart and we're looking at a giant mirror, vertical mirror, and behind us is the sun, and we're all looking at the sun in the mirror. So if another person went up to the mirror, I could say where I see the sun, they'd draw an X on the mirror. And then for you, it'd be 20 feet over. And then we'd all see the sun in a different place. So there's no way that we can triangulate the sun looking at a reflection, right? And it's the same thing happens when we look at the actual sun. And the reason I say, it's like, well, if it's a reflection, how's it so hot? Well, I was in Las Vegas at a conference, and I was by the pool in the late afternoon, and the sun is on the right side of me, and it's hitting the right side of my face, and it was really hot. I was like, wow, it's a hot sun.
Right.
The hotel was like 100 yards off to the side, and it was mirrored, and the sun was lined up with one of the windows perfectly, and I could see the sun look the same. And I closed my eyes. I said, if I didn't know which one was the real sun, which one's warmer, and they were both the same,
oh,
Interesting.
right? Yeah, that was interesting.
So
yeah.
because I want to go with this.
Go with it,
Go ahead.
You know what? Gary Facts.
Gary Facts.
No, I'm listening.
No, I'm asking a question.
yeah.
What season is it right now in Australia?
It's summer.
Summer.
It is summer. Okay.
Actually,
So-
it's spring.
Right. But no, but yeah, they're going into it, right? So here's my thing. If the Earth is flat, why wouldn't the seasons be the same in all places, considering the fact that we rotate on this disc, every 24 hours or whatever's rotating
We
above
don't
us?
rotate. The sun rotates.
Okay, sun rotates every 24 hours. So how do we explain the seasons?
Okay. So they explain us the seasons, saying that the sun is tilted. When we're tilted away,
Right.
the sunlight's spread out over
On
the
an
area,
axis.
right?
On an axis.
Yeah. But did you know during our winter in the north that we are 3 million miles closer to the sun during our winter?
Okay.
Right? But it's the tilt that does it, they say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So here's an experiment you can do. On December 21st, during our winter
The
solstice.
solstice, yeah.
Right.
No, on June 21st during our summer solstice.
Okay.
Go down to where you can watch the sunrise, and as soon as you see the sun on the horizon, feel the heat on your face. Well, that's not a 34-degree tilt. That's an 89-degree tilt. That's the most severe tilt, and you can feel the heat of the sun on your face. Then go on December 21st, the winter solstice, when the sun is at the high point for the day. Look at the sun, and you won't even feel the heat. That's a more direct thing. So
I
I'm going
got
to show
two
you.
questions. I got two questions. I got
I'm
two.
going to show you how seasons work.
Okay.
If I can
I'm
Oh,
ready.
that's
maintain my
ooh.
voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
All right,
We
you,
good.
You guys see my app?
Yeah, we see the app.
You got it up nice and big?
Yeah.
Oh boy, is it?
All right. So the sun, we're looking down at the world pond, and think of it like a clock face. The sun is the hour hand. It goes around once a day, and it keeps track of the hours and the days. Speed it up. The sun
What?
laps the moon once every 28 days. It's going faster than the moon, so it'll catch up to the moon. So the moon and its phase and its positions keep track of the weeks and the moons. Used to be called moons, believe it or not. Okay. So I'll slow it down. I'll turn on the stars. The stars are spinning, but not quite as fast as faster than the moon and slightly faster than the sun. So right now, the sun is in this tropic, but next month Pisces will catch up to the sun, and the following month is that Taurus will catch up. So the stars will lap the sun once a year. Okay. So the stars keep track of the seasons and the years. So let me show you how the seasons work. So right now, you can see the sun. You see this outer yellow line?
Yes.
This is the Tropic of Capricorn. The inner yellow line is the Tropic of Cancer, and the red line is the equator. And the sun migrates in between these tropics every 6 months. So I'm going to jump the sun forward to June. All right, June. And it's now over the inner north. So in June, it's closer to us. So it's higher in the sky. And because it's closer and higher, it's hotter. And then 6 months later, when it moves back out to the Tropic of Capricorn, it will be our winter and the outer southern land summer. So we look at, we're in November, December, bam, December, it's Australia's and South Africa's and South America's summer because the sun is closer to them. So think about this. Hold on.
We're here with you,
You
Dave.
had an airplane flying you have an airplane flying 10,000 feet over your head, directly over your head. And there's another one paralleling that, but it's 50 miles south. Okay, same height, paralleling it. The one flying over your head is your summer sun. It's higher in the sky. The one out south is lower in the sky. It's farther away, right? That's your winter sun. And people that were out south, it's higher in the sky for them, and the sun over your head is lower in the sky for them. So that's how seasons work. It's very simple. Seasons make zero sense on a flat Earth. And the other thing is, if the Earth was a ball, animal life and weather in the inner north at 50 degrees north should be the same as 50 degrees south, and they're not. They're drastically different, right?
So is that because it's
Seas-
flat?
Yeah, well, that's
because it's a ball.
It's not a ball because you should have the opposite season 6 months apart should be the same. So let me get out of the app, but let me just show you.
Yeah.
Every day there's a new featured video here. This is what you got to do. Longer ones on the weekends, shorter one, and you too lose the respect of your family and friends because you'll be a flat earther. But if you think
I'm
that the
going
Earth
for it.
is a
Good.
ball, if you think the Earth is a ball, and you have proof, before you send it to me, you hit the question mark, and up come all of the questions.
So does
Hey,
the
what about-
sun revolve around the Earth?
No.
So I just
No, it
no,
doesn't.
It circles over the Earth.
Yeah.
Wait. So what about sunsets, or are all space agencies in on the lie, or or why the lie?
So,
Why
That's your
24
big
hours?
question.
Why 24
So,
hours?
so hold on. So if I wanted to click Ships Over the Horizon, I click it, and up comes a playlist of videos that YouTube will not serve you. They'll serve you a bunch of garbage, right? So these videos will answer all of your questions. And again, trust me, all of your questions are answered there. There's other information here from mud floods to my interviews are all up here.
Oh, great.
Right? Your interview will be up there. It'll be great.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah,
Curve
well,
calculator, so you
I
can
don't
do
get it. I'm
calculations.
sorry.
No. I think it's good.
Sorry.
I think it's
I'm
good.
sorry, I don't get it.
I have one more question though.
Did I just do something?
No.
No, you still there, Dave?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you
yeah.
sound great.
I just want to, just one more question.
I'm hearing a. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. Now as you're talking and I see how you have the world as a clock. Why is it always hotter under the equator than above it? Like why
Why is it always hotter?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
the equator is always a flat Earth. How does that work?
Right. Yeah, because the equator is in between the two tropics. So the sun is always close to the equator. The sun is always. Can you guys still see my app? I stopped sharing it, but something crazy happened.
Yeah, it went a little wacky for a minute here. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. So if you think about it, the sun is traveling between the tropics, and it's always pretty close to the equator, and never gets really far from the equator. When the sun's over the Tropic of Capricorn, it is far away from the Tropic of Cancer where we are. Okay,
Okay.
and that's why it's colder.
I just
Hold
you
on.
know
I
if you
think-
know what the treaty is called, that'd be great. I can look it up.
Dave, you still there? Dave might not be.
I think he's there. Maybe
All right, okay.
Yes?
maybe his internet is flat.
All right, hold on. Let me just see. Definitely something went flat. There's no doubt about that. All right, let me see what's happening.
I didn't get to the part where
The Zoom meeting has ended
oh he ended it. Oh,
by the host. Hey,
I didn't
Dave.
get to ask him if he ate ass.
No. Dave,
Terrible.
I think you hit the button. Hold on.
I think he ended it, bro.
No. 'Cause I'm going back.
No, I think he ended it, bro. I think he ended
No,
it.
because he was a host. He was a host, so he was able to end it if he wanted to.
Which he did.
He did. I think.
Maybe it was by accident.
Well, he can call back in, right?
Yeah. Nah, listen, I'm going back, man. I'm hit Dave.
Like I'm going back.
No, let him call back.
Oh, I gotta give him another Zoom link.
I want him, man.
I'm giving another Zoom link. Y'all just hang on, y'all. I know this is different.
So look, I'm not convinced
Go ahead,
yet.
go.
I'm just saying.
Talk about it, Gary.
Yeah, talk about it.
I'm not convinced yet.
You haven't
Well,
said
yet. Yet? Are you yet to be convinced?
No, I'm not.
1, 2, 3.
I'm
Very
not-
close.
I'm not convinced yet. I hear everything that he's saying,
Right. It's an alternative point of view.
and I respect what he's saying.
I'm open.
But
Man, that's some bullshit.
No, I'm saying, look.
Right. Hey, man, I'm not going to say stupid, right?
No, look. No, two people. Wait, you can take one subject and you can have two people make different arguments about
The
it.
world is not flat.
Well, you
damn
can
it.
debate anything.
You can debate any, and this because what he was talking about basically was saying to me that he does not trust NASA. He does not trust any government agency to tell him what his reality is, right?
But they were up in
I get-
space and took pictures.
No. Wait, hold on. I'm talking about what he's thinking.
right.
It's not about what we see
Okay.
and what they tell us. He's saying, I don't trust the government. I don't trust what they tell us. That's what he's saying.
That's why they, okay,
There's no difference
Hold
between.
on, wait. Because he's in the room.
Yeah, you go.
David, you were the host, and it said the host ended the interview. So, and it could be in there or whatever it is. So I sent you a new link to your email. Go back, pop
Pick
it
it
on,
up,
then we're
pick
gonna
it
go
up.
again.
I know you need a bathroom break.
I'm
here for
He
you.
said he was sick. I don't know. He could be having a moment. I don't know.
Listen, a lot of things went on.
Well, we
You know,
can.
I mean, and powerful things. You know.
No,
'cause
you know,
he's-
he-
hold wait. In the chat room, he said, Jeff Barth said, "Don't be convinced. You would be no better of when you believed
and Santa Claus. Right.
Listen, I'm here. So, Dave, I sent a new email to you with a new link, and I'll put you back. Yep, Dave's in the room.
There he is.
All right.
There we go. Dave's back.
Hey,
Welcome
Dave.
back, Dave.
The DW on the moon.
All right, I am back.
Hey.
yes, sir. Hold
I
on.
don't know. Something went crazy.
But don't worry, I'll give you applause. Dave is back, baby.
So I heard you say I don't trust NASA, and it's not, it's not a matter of trust. It's a matter of looking at NASA. So here's my test for you guys. You ready?
Yes.
And the audience. And the audience.
Oh, here,
Yeah.
Tess, here we go.
Is this NASA footage, or of the lunar lander meeting up with the orbiter, or is this a rejected clip from the South Park Goes to the Moon because they didn't like the animation? It was too crappy.
So, well, from the way you're leading the question, it would be the latter.
It's not. It's actual footage from NASA.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is why you don't trust NASA. There's two grown men in diapers in there moving around. This is nonsense.
So what year is this?
That's
What year
like
is this?
69, it looks like.
Late 1960s, 1970s.
All right. So what about any current footage you have?
No, hold on, wait. I mean,
Don't
first of
go
all,
to the moon anymore.
I mean, is this an actual moon picture?
From NASA's website.
Yeah, did this actually happen?
We never went to the moon. This is what they showed us as footage.
At that
This
time.
is what they showed us.
Right. But what about beyond that? So
Why?
every.
This is what they showed us.
But wait. I'm talking
And
about.
we've never gone back to the moon. NASA says we can't get above low Earth orbit. So in the 1960s and 70s, we're able to go to moon with guys with a doom buggy and golf clubs, play golf, dance around the moon, fly back, and land successfully. But now we can't even go 1% of that distance.
All right. Well, I got a question. So,
Okay.
since that time, let's just say it was a hoax, okay? Because we, at the time, Sputnik landed on the moon before the U.S. and that had nothing to do with NASA.
It circled the Earth.
All right, fine.
Sputnik was a satellite.
Right. Well,
Nice story, bro.
they used the animals first before they used human beings. So,
Another nice story.
all right. Well, you know what? That's what we've been taught. So let me just go with that, right? So I'm going to come to you from an ignorant point of view. So, you can reject it because you have already. I'm saying that from 1969, let's just say it was, erroneous. It was all made up. They were in the desert in like San Antonio somewhere or Arizona where they couldn't really prove, that we landed on the moon. So from there, we were able to put, as a matter of fact, you're able to use your phone through a satellite and watch digital TV through a satellite. So how were they able to go up there, right? And have it not be fake. So when you go up there, so are satellites real, or how does that work?
Or did not?
So, who is the largest owner of helium companies and consumer of helium in the world?
I don't know.
NASA.
Okay.
So
NASA
okay,
launches tens of thousands of these satelloons
okay,
every year.
satellite balloons,
Okay.
right? And they check the weather and things like that, and
Right.
right.
Cell phones don't use satellites; they use cell towers, and they also 99% of communications are done through undersea cables.
Well,
But not a cell phone, though.
in addition to no other tech, they can use no, they do have cables that run on the seabed floor. I know that.
All right, for fact. Yes, I've seen
Okay,
that.
so they also have towers, which I know about because I worked for a cell tower company. So my issue is, you have to triangulate, right? When you have a satellite, you have to triangulate the signals from somewhere, everywhere in the world.
Towers.
No, not just the towers.
No.
That is
So
not true.
Before there was satellites, we had the Loran system, which was a ground-based tower system that uses grids, and you can look on a map and look at the numbers and see where you are. Then all of a sudden, they replaced it with satellites, and it was basically just a graphic overlay on the Loran system. When you go on an airplane, when you fly offshore, when you're 100 or 200 miles away from any civilization, you go into approximated mode. You're no longer on the GPS system. You're in approximated mode. Between California and Hawaii, there is no GPS. Over the deep Amazon, there is no GPS. In the southern oceans, there's no GPS. In Antarctica, there's no GPS, and compasses don't even work down there.
Can we go back to the
Out there.
Hawaii thing? What did you say about Hawaii? I'm sorry. That is no
So when you're in an
GPS.
airplane and you have a flight plan from California to Hawaii,
Right?
when you get about 100 or 200 miles offshore, if you're watching on a plane tracking program, a professional plane tracking program, it goes to what's called approximated mode. It estimates your speed and your course, and it says this plane is about here, and it doesn't actually show up on GPS or radar again until it's 100 or 200 miles from Hawaii.
All right. So are we saying that now? Let's just do with the GPS technology.
Yeah.
GPS technology, is that a
Cell tower?
satellite? A satellite in the air?
No.
Okay.
Now,
All right. Here we go.
there are AWACS planes that have, that are used for communications and radar. Satelloons might be doing some of that, but it's mostly ground-based towers for GPS.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. So let's just say,
If it was satellites doing this crazy thing around, all of these satellites are spinning around the Earth. Some of them are staying right above the same piece of land the whole time, supposedly, while the Earth is doing this, spinning and twirling and whirling, and somehow those satellites are following this curved path
Yeah,
in space.
I believe that.
Makes no sense.
I believe it.
Yeah, well, that's
I mean, if they can stay in a fixed position, look, it's all about longitude, latitude, right?
Well, I mean, if they're
can't stay in a
if
fixed
they're
position.
staying
They
in a
don't.
fixed position,
lie.
right? The idea
that's a
of radio technology and satellite technology,
Here.
but particularly satellite
I got
technology,
another test for you guys.
is they have to make the
Yeah,
Earth
sorry,
into a square, right?
There's no such.
So there's satellites at different points in time in the Earth to make it a square because the technology can't go
Square.
over the curve. But I don't know.
Please tell me
radar can
something.
see farther over the curve. Sonar, lasers, we can see too far. There is no curve. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat. We've done laser tests, microwave tests over frozen lakes.
You said we.
hold
You
on.
said we. Wait, who's we?
So we have there's lots of people that have done experiments. There's.
I just want to know if you've been involved with any experiments yourself.
I have been.
Okay. Okay.
All right, give me your
I have a
experience,
super zoom
Dave.
camera, and we
A
can
camera.
we can see too far. We can see things that Look here. Do you see a boat? Is there a boat here?
I don't see
The boat should be over the horizon, but if we keep zooming in, look, all of a sudden there's the boat. All of a sudden there it is. So now watch. I'm going to go all the way into the boat. You can see the whole boat. And so now I'm going to zoom out, which is equivalent to the boat just going away.
Okay.
And watch, it'll disappear from the bottom up.
All right.
It's an optical effect. It's not going over a curve.
So that's not
someone
a
on the beach
curve,
would
what you're saying.
Well, that boat went over the curve, but somehow I can zoom back in on it. That's impossible.
But that's
Think about it.
distance in
Well, I
time.
mean,
that's zoom.
This picture.
No, but no, it's distance in time.
Who
That's all.
took this picture? Please tell me.
What's that?
Who took this picture?
Oh, you're talking about the picture you
One
did,
of
the
my
experiment.
friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Experiment.
done
What are
some
your
too.
friends?
Yeah. So check this out. See this tall
Let him
white
talk. He is the guest of the show.
here? So let me ask you a question. If you were standing right here and I walked around this corner, I walked that way around the corner.
Right.
If you had a super zoom camera, could you zoom in and find me?
No, not at all.
Of course not, right?
I was
Okay,
zooming to
now I'm
the.
going to turn it sideways and
furthest
imagine
point.
this is the hump of the Earth,
Okay.
right? So if I went over that hump, if you had a super zoom camera, could you zoom in and see me?
Not once you go
No,
over the hump.
would you be
No.
staring? You'll be staring at the floor. But we can see things that are too far. I can see that boat. It should be over the curve, right? Here's Howard
But
Hughes. by the
here's
way.
my question.
This is his course. when
I'm
he
just going to say,
circumnavigated the Earth.
my question with this is this. Here's my question, okay? Dave, maybe the boat wasn't far enough over the curve for you not to see it.
That's
it?
a great. No, absolutely.
Because
But
if you're not far enough over the
this
curve,
oil rig doesn't move.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we know how far this oil rig is, and
It's
there should be
distance and
59
time.
feet of curvature.
It's all
but we
distance
can
and time.
see beyond it. It's a no. Distance and time doesn't mean anything.
It does.
You can
It
see
means a
distance
lot.
and length. Well, what? How come I can see the water beyond this when it should be 100 feet below the curve?
You can't really see it
So if I'm
because
looking
Well,
from
this is
Puerto
just a
Rico,
screenshot from a video, but in the video we zoom out.
because
and you
everybody
can-
uses video to bolster their arguments. We just don't know for a fact, right?
my question is, if I can see from Puerto Rico to Santo Domingo, I cannot see that the Caribbean after that. Now you tell me, why can I see that?
Why you can't see where?
For Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, I can see Santo Domingo, but the Caribbeans,
Yeah,
I
so-
cannot see that after that. Why?
So I'll answer that. I was in Tortola. I was in Vieques.
Ah,
and
good tip.
50 miles away
Mm-hmm.
is the closest end of Tortola, and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And then I got out my infrared camera and I zoomed in. Not only could I see all of the mountains of Tortola, I could see the beaches of Tortola. Okay, and it should be 50 miles. Should be way over the curve.
Now, let
50
me ask
times-
you a
50
question.
times
Now,
80
now
miles.
I said that for one reason. I said Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico, and you said the Caribbeans, but the world is so much bigger.
Right, but you can't see that far because the air is like soup. Here's an experiment that I did.
Okay.
So I have a drone.
Density. Okay.
And I put it up on a super clear day, right? This is really zoomed in. And I watched the sun in 5 minutes time. It went down, 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 down. Now, if the earth was spinning, it should just keep on going. But what didn't? It went down, 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 and then it stopped. It just sat there. Now, this is sped up 2,500 times, 2,500%, 2,500%.
Right.
And it didn't go down. It just faded into the thickness of the air. It didn't go down. It should have been, it sat there for 10 minutes. It went from up here to here, but then it just faded away. And that's because light can't push through the soup of the atmosphere. It's too thick. Except, check this out, in Africa, on the high plains, super clear, cold, and dry. And the sun, again, stopped, and then it just shrank. And it went away. It clearly is just going
And then,
away.
All right,
That has
so-
nothing to do with the
Down.
Earth moving.
Oh,
Okay.
and there's a chat room thing going on. There's a chat room
If the
thing
earth was
going on.
spinning, it would have gone like that. It would have gone down.
We wouldn't have
but it's
seen it with the
going
naked eye.
away.
That's the whole thing.
This is with the naked eye. This is
No, but I'm
clearly-
saying if through time and distance, if the Earth is spinning on its axis, when you see it go down, it doesn't say I'm just going to go hide. I mean, in my opinion, it is going down because the Earth is turning
Thank you.
so that it can shine somewhere else while we get darkness.
Now, I've been hold on.
I just proved
I've
that
been.
wrong though, because in my video,
Interesting.
and you have to watch the whole video, the sun is going down. It should always maintain the same speed if we're spinning, but it didn't. It stopped and it just sat there. So that shows that we're not spinning.
I don't
It
know.
does.
Look.
Because
Go
I
ahead,
thought-
go ahead,
I-
Rocky.
I-
Go
I-
ahead,
Go ahead,
Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky, go
Now,
ahead.
I fought before. Now, my thing is, I've been around the world like Rock, and when I fought, where I've been, I've seen the light turn. I've called my family from the other side. 7.5 hours later, they're like, "Oh, we're having fun. We're in the park." And I'm like, "Everybody here's going to sleep."
No, but I think you capture a great point. So when the sun's going down,
Thank you.
when the sun is going down, the way you illustrate, it is rising somewhere else.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm
So
saying.
how in a
Right,
flat
because
Earth?
it's approaching. So I'll show you. So check this video.
He's got a
As the sun
graphic.
goes
He's got a
away,
graphic.
It disappears from the. It's going away, and the clouds merge with the horizon, and it just goes beyond them. So people that are that way, the sun is rising for them. It's coming closer. Okay. And it
In a
just
disc,
circles
in a
around.
disc.
And we see it
I'm sorry.
disappear
So,
due
so
to
you're saying
perspective.
is what you're saying is the sun is going.
It's
this
not
way,
going down. It's going around
sideways. No, the sun's going sideways.
like a clock.
Let me show you an experiment that I did. This is my kitchen, and I made a line that's level, and I'm just moving the sun along the level line, right? And so these are different features on the land, whether they're clouds or mountains, doesn't matter, okay? So this is from an elevated view. So in a second, I'm going to put the camera down, at the level of the counter, which is the Earth, and we're going to see what the sun looks like as it goes away along that line. And what you'll see is it looks like it's going down. It looks like it's dropping, but it's going along that level line. And so watch, and there's going to be a comparison coming up. And this line here is merged into the horizon, and I think it's the horizon from my.
So what is her horizon? Wait. What does her horizon mean?
The horizon is where the sky and the earth meet together. It's the way we look. So look, here it is going away. It's going down. Here's a real sunset. You see how it's going behind? Look, the horizon looks like it's there, but it's really up there. That's the atmospheric deck of opacity.
I'm sorry.
Watch it.
What you're trying to tell
So
me is
this is a real sunset. This is my made up sunset. This is actually what's happening. It's going in a straight line. It looks like it's going down. It looks like it's going down, but it's just going away.
so what you're telling me is the sunset
Already
goes
over now.
from left to right, and it doesn't go around.
It circles around, just like I showed
On
you
the disc.
letter.
On the disc. That's what he's saying.
But we still can't prove it though.
It's a tough, Dave. It is a tough prove, Dave.
So it circles around like this. This is the sun. It goes around. And as it moves in and out between the tropics, the amount of light changes. If there's a dome, the optics of the dome are crazy. There's so much to look at there. But this is how it works. And, you know, there's pilots, airline pilots that are doing like flights from California to Germany that are speaking out. They're like, we see the sun the entire time. And we could see that it goes around. It never sets because they're up high enough where they can see it, right? Where it's not setting. behind
Where
the
does that
cloud
happen? Because
horizon.
I've done the international flights, and the sun will set. It'll be nighttime, then it's
Of course
daytime.
it'll set.
So
But if you leave at the right time from California, you can have the sun up the entire time on the way to Germany.
of course
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, if you leave
works.
early enough, yes, you can. But then that theory would stand strong with if it was a shorter distance, right? Shorter distance from New York to Germany, from New York to Europe. Let's just be Europe. You will go from nighttime flight to daytime flight. You land in
Well,
the
it depends on
morning.
where the sun is and which direction you're going. I totally agree.
100%.
You're right.
Right.
And a lot of it works on both, but there's many times where a pilot will film out one window, you got the sun off to the right, and you have the moon off to the left. And if you look at where the moon is supposed to be, like over Australia, there's no way that pilot should be able to see it, but they can because they're up high enough and they can see. I mean, the horizon always rises to eye level. It doesn't drop off exponentially. We can zoom in on things that are too far away that we shouldn't be able to see, that should be behind a curve. So either the Earth is 10,000 times bigger than they're telling us, or it's flat. Okay?
Okay.
So my
right.
question is: so we're supposed to know where the moon is supposed to be?
Well, like if you know that the moon is at its zenith over Australia, you know it's over Australia.
Right,
You can
right.
chart where the moon is. On the app, it shows you where the moon is. And you know that's the midnight, you can call it. That's where the moon is at night.
Dave?
No,
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
no. I'm engrossed in this conversation. I just want to know. No, I want to know, right? Like, in space, using dark matter and dark energy.
Those are just made up things. that
Fine.
nobody's ever seen. No one's ever
But
seen.
even around the Earth, even if it was flat, anything around it, outside of it, what is it? Is it what kind of energy is it? What kind of matter is it?
What's there?
Because I don't know if you agree with me, but I mean you can dispel my theory, but I mean there are other planets outside of Earth, aren't there?
No, there's not. So,
Okay.
so let's talk about it.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Dave, I'm with you. Go.
The only images that we have of. So what's that?
No, go. He's saying
I said,
telling you
Dave,
to go.
go.
Yeah.
Just talk about it.
Yeah, all right. All right, so the only images that we have of other planets, which I showed you, are from NASA and Disney, and they're nonsense.
Okay, so there's no other
So-
planets
so
outside of the Earth.
Hang on, slow it down.
I'm just asking.
I've looked at Saturn, and I have a telescope and all sorts of stuff, and yeah, they look spherical to me, but they're also brighter than the sun. They're like the brightest star in the sky. You have to believe that the sunlight is hitting that distant, friggin' dusty, dirty ball Mars is sending light back to us brighter than any star. Well, that's impossible if you understand what the inverse square law of light is and how light diminishes in its brightness over time exponentially. That's impossible, right? If you look at the moon, for example, the moon.
I'm like,